Good Shabbos. Good Shabbos. Good Shabbos. Good Shabbos. Good Shabbos. Good Shabbos. Here we are again. Hello, good Shabbos to everybody. Shabbat Shalom. It is me, myself, my lonesome here, Cantor Arlene Frank, and we have Joel Weiss speaking in about a half hour from now about his experience in Uzbekistan. So it's going to be a very interesting devar tonight. So we have that to look forward to and a lot of really nice music. We have Ken Kaufman here on the piano. And we have Adam Biter here, who is helping us out with sound, and that makes the Cantor so happy, because then that means that I would be, when I used to do it, just a few years back, I used to do it, and I used to be schlepping all this stuff, and I'd be out here in the heat at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and schlepping all the things and doing it all, and by the time services would be rolled around, I'd be dehydrated and very grumpy. So now we're really, really treated by not just his gifts, right? And we've heard him play piano, we've heard him sing, and we see him working the board every Friday night. But just his presence, he has such a wonderful, calm, and sweet presence. So let's just give him an extra jazz hands. All right. So welcome. That was our welcome. And the people are filing in. It's making me feel a little bit better. I was saying, where are the Jews? Where are the Jews tonight? We're here. We're here, which is great. So that was our welcome. And let's go to page 140 for a setting of Mizmor Shir. You all know that I do settings by Sal Zim. He was a teacher of mine for 7 years while I was in seminary. But he has a brother, Paul Zim, and they used to be known as the Zim brothers back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. Then they parted ways, and they both write music, they both perform, they both have, cantorial pulpits. And but this one's by Paul Zim. So here we go, Mizmor Shir, you know it by now. Mizmor Shir, Shir Yom HaShabbat. Try with me. Mizmor Shir, Shir Yom HaShabbat. Tov, 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 lehodot, tov, tov, lehodot, Adonai, unser Shir Yom HaShabbat. Mizmor, Mizmor, Mizmor Shir, Shir Yom HaShabbat. Tov, it's good. Tov, 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 Tov. Lehodot, Tov, Tov, Lehodot. Adonai, Unzamer, Leshimcha, Leshimcha Elyon. Tov, 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 Tov. Lehodot, Tov, Tov, Lehodot. Adonai, Unzamer, Leshimcha, Leshimcha Elyon. Oh, Jill, why don't you come up and do the candles? It's never safe to sit in the front seat. You should know that at services and also at comedy clubs. It's just not ever
I think
safe.
this is safer than a comedy club.
Oh, one time I went to a comedy club and boy did that guy rail into me for a very long time.
Go ahead.
Yes. And please remain, yes, please. 123 now for our Kiddush over the wine.
I'm going to do the other version.
Oh, okay, so this won't be exact. This is the Reconstructionist version that Jill will be doing. Just a couple words that are different. You can follow along. You can kind of do the same thing you're used to doing, and she'll do the same thing she's used to doing, and we'll all be happy under the tent.
Baruch
Chablis. Chablis. Pinot Blanc. Je ne sais pas. All right. Yeah, so let's go to page 138, 139 for Lincoln's Nigun. It's a version of the Chadodi. We're doing verses 8 and 9. Please rise and face the entrance to the tent. Oy v'shalom, ater b'alam, dam simcha, u'v'tzolam, tov emunei, al zekulam. Wave to somebody. Then wave back, and then you wave to somebody else. And say good Shabbos. Now, if you can remain standing, please do for the Baruch. If not, you're welcome to be seated. The Baruch can be found on page 146. for a version of the Mariv Aravim that's found on page 150. Or you may be seated and just listen in a relaxed state. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher yifaro ma'arim aravim God of creation, who makes the evening fall from light into darkness with the setting of the sun. You unfold the heavens with brilliant moon and stars and wrap our souls in peace. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher yifaro ma'arim aravim b'chokhmah v'tehah she'arim. And we can remain standing for those that are comfortable for the Shema that is found on page 152. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Shake your foot, Maputo, Le'olam Va'ed. Shake your foot, Maputo, Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. You may be seated. Turn to page 154 for Ve'ahavta. Ve'ahavta Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha v'b'chol nafshecha v'b'chol me'otecha ve'hayu advarim ha'eleh asher Hanavi nitzavta hayom al levavecha v'shinata V'item Kiddushim Lelechem Ani Adonai Elohim Asher Hotzeti Etchem Me'eretz Mitzrayim Li'ot Lachem Elohim Ani Adonai Elohim. Let's turn to page 158. Before we sing, let's just do one reading. I guess we'll do the one we always do. Sing the song. Let's do that together on page 159. Sing the song of men and women, joined in understanding and respect. The song of God's miracles, and earth protected and cherished. A gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravaged by war, now quiet and content. For soldiers home to leave no more. The song of the world redeemed. The song of peace. And on the opposing page, on page 158, we see the Mi Chamocha, and here is one of my newer favorite settings by Dan Nichols. So we will turn to page 164 through 180. There are readings for our silent Amidah, our silent Tefillah. So if you are able to stand, please do take a few moments of silent meditation, the prayers of your heart, or the prayers that are in our prayer book. When you are seated, I know that you are done. I have to say at this moment, we are so blessed to have this tent here. I don't think any of us would be outdoors right now, right? Maybe it'll rain, maybe it'll not. It's been raining all day type of evening, right? The birds are very active. They can finally move around. It's not pouring on top of them. And just a beautiful night. We're going to turn to page 180 for the Oseh Shalom. And of course, we're doing it our favorite way for this summer. And it's called What the World Needs Now. And if you just indulge me, because I'm going to go on vacation for the next 2 weeks, and I'm not going to have the opportunity to sing that much. And I figured, I really did feel like singing that, because Adam was the last one that sang it, I think. And I sang it before you and after you, whatever. But Ken is here, and it's a really special song to him, too. I do not have the words or the lyrics, so I'm going to try to do it from memory. For some reason, I forgot to put it in my book. But we're good.
Read over my shoulder.
I'm tempted. I mean, I can literally do it like nightclub style while I'll hold the mic. It has those very artistic English words in it. I think I know it by heart, but I don't want to mess it up. Running out of we got it. We got it. The other one.
Other one.
This is cozy. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just to love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. Lord, we don't need another mountain. There are mountains and hillsides enough to climb. There are oceans and rivers enough to cross, enough to last till the end of time. What the world needs now is love. I love those smiles. Love. It's the only thing that there's just to love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. Bring the heavens down to the earth. Sing God's beauty and love each and every day. Hold both darkness and light with a gentle heart, and sing with joy, and let us all proclaim. Oh, say shalom, bimroma. Oh yeah, I said shalom. No, not just for some, oh, but just say shalom. All right, well, Joel, please come up and share with us this evening. Joel will tell you a little bit about himself.
Shabbat shalom. My name is Joel Weiss, and I wasn't prepared to introduce myself, so I will just say that my name is Joel Weiss, and I'll tell you something about what I'm doing now, not what I've done in the past. So in about 5.5 hours, I will officially be the interim principal at Williamsville East High School. Oh, it should be. And I'll be there until the middle of October, when a regular principal is hired. I'm also involved in a play now at Desiderio's Dinner Theater. The play is Don't Drink the Water, and I'm happy to be in it. It's a wonderful cast, people significantly more talented than I am. My role is that of the ambassador, if you know the play. So when I was preparing some remarks for tonight, I discovered that August 2nd this year is National Water Balloon Day, which you probably already knew. And I was so tempted, I didn't do it. I was so tempted to bring a mystery bag up with me and have water balloons and just start heaving them at everybody. And doing that would certainly be much more memorable than anything I could say, because everybody would go home and say, "You're never going to guess what happened at Temple tonight. This moron was heaving water balloons at everybody." I didn't do that. So, about 25 years or so ago, I was invited to be one of the keynote speakers at a conference for English professors in Tashkent, Uzbekistan. If you've never heard of Tashkent, the metropolitan population is almost 7 million people. Pretty big place, even though it's not a high-profile place. It is predominantly a Muslim country, but it's not very militant. When I was reading and looking over things about what happens, God forbid, if I'm in Tashkent and something bad happens, their policy is for Americans, if there's not something that they can easily fix or remedy, they airlift the people to Israel. I felt pretty comfortable then. So I accepted the invitation. I was happy to go. I have a degree in Russian, so I could speak more 25 years ago than I can now, and I was very excited to go. I flew from Buffalo to JFK, from JFK to Amsterdam, and then from Amsterdam to Tashkent on Uzbekistan Airlines. I'm sure you've all flown that before. Many times. One thing I didn't consider, which I certainly should have, is it going to be a non-smoking flight? Who would even think such a thing? I'm only bringing this up because it was a smoking flight, but they assured me at the gate that I was in a non-smoking section. The smoking section started the next row. So that was my first regret, that I didn't check it out. I was met at the airport by a wonderful lady who greeted me, and we spoke, and then we took a cab to my hotel. My hotel was considered a boutique hotel, very upscale by their standards. I was a little suspicious because there was no sign. It was a small, maybe 10-room hotel, no sign. I got checked in. It was clearly a hotel. It wasn't a setup. And then she said, "Okay, I'm going to walk back to my apartment. It's not very far from here." It was already dusk. And I said, "Let me walk you back to your hotel." And she said, "Oh, no, thank you. You'll get lost." And I prided myself on having a wonderful sense of direction. Mistake number 2 is coming up. And so I convinced her to let me walk her back. There was no sign on the hotel, but I was pretty sure I could retrace my steps in reverse. Wrong. I couldn't. I had my key, and I had the name of the hotel on the key, but not the address. So I was randomly stopping people and asking them in Russian, in English, if they could help me. Nobody could help me. I was becoming panic-stricken because I could see them coming for me the following morning to take me to the conference. He hasn't been here all night. And finally, I stopped at a newsstand. It was about midnight. And I asked if the gentleman that was running the news, that was at the newsstand, if he knew where this hotel was. He said, "Yes, I do. I'm closing my newsstand in an hour. If you can wait an hour, I'll be happy to take you there." And I was delighted. And I said, "Of course." And his friend was there, and his friend said, "You take him there, I'll close up your shop." Wonderful. Guy said yes. We walked. He wanted to practice his English, which was far better than my Russian, so it worked out very well. As we were talking, he said to me, "My wife is in labor. She's in the hospital, and she's going to give birth anytime." I said, "Wonderful." When we got there, I gave him a big hug, and I said, "Let me give you some money for your trouble." He goes, "Absolutely not," and he insisted. So, no money. I spoke at the conference. It was fine. It was uneventful. And then the next day, the organizers flew me to a city called Namangan, where I met with administrators and teachers at the university there, Namangan State University. I flew back to Tashkent the same day, but this time it was in a Western-style hotel with a sign and everything else. I felt like I was in heaven. I spent the next day exploring Tashkent. I went souvenir shopping, Timur Square, the State Museum, and so on. I took a subway to get to the different places. There are cabs in Tashkent, but very few. And so what people do, which is fairly typical in Europe, is they stand at the side of the road and they go like thus. And a private citizen can stop and negotiate a price to take the person wherever they're going. I was pretty comfortable doing that. I'd done that in other countries before, so I pulled over to the side. This car pulled over to the side. When I did that, I got in. There's almost 7 million people there. It was the same guy. It was the same guy. And at first he didn't recognize me, not expecting me to be me. And then we started talking, and he realized it was me, and he drove me to the hotel. And when we got there, he said, "I have to ask you, what are you?" And I said, "I mentioned the other day, I'm American." He goes, no, "What are you in America? And it took a little while. I had a hunch I knew what he meant, but I wasn't positive. And finally I said, "Well, I'm Jewish." And he said, "So am I." There are, right now, there were more then, but there are about 5,500 Jews in all of Uzbekistan now. There were more then, but a lot of them went to Israel when the getting was good. And so we started talking more. Now, this is where the English may have broken down a little bit, because he told me his wife was still in labor. For her sake, I hope she wasn't. But he said everything was good. We talked and we talked and we talked. We talked some more, and he said, "I want to come to the United States. Can you help me? I want my son, soon to be born, and my wife and I to come to the United States." And I said, and this is a Russian expression, "S udovольствием," which means with pleasure. And I meant it. And he started to cry. And we didn't exchange. I gave him all my contact information. He was a little uncomfortable giving me his because of the suspicious nature of anybody that lives or formerly lived in the Soviet Union with the secret police and everything like that. But he was comfortable getting all my contact information. I gave it to him and I said, I want to give you some money, but it's not for you, it's for your baby. And he took it and we exchanged hugs and he started to cry again and he said, you will hear from me very soon. This comes back to present day before I finish the story. As Jews, we always have hope. As Jews, we know that hope is sometimes tempered by real life experiences. Just look at the world around you. Look what's happened and is happening in Israel. But we still have hope. I left Tashkent full of hope that he and his son and wife would come to Buffalo and we could sponsor, Ellie and I could sponsor them. It doesn't always work out perfectly. I'm sorry to tell you, I never heard from him. I never heard from him. All my optimism, all my hope. And I've tried over the years to come up with 50 different explanations. Was he making it all up? I don't think so. He told me what his grandmother used to call him and what he called his grandmother. Bubby and a couple other diminutive terms for his name. So I don't think it was a scam. I don't know what happened. I don't know whether he got cold feet, whether his wife put the kibosh on it. I don't know. As Jews, we have to continue to roll with the punches. What's happening in the world, what's happening in Israel, what's happening in the United States and college campuses is not ideal. But there's hope. And I have the same contact information. I still hope that I'll hear from him 26 years later. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you. We'll rise as we turn to page 586 for Elena. You may be seated. I realized that I did not put the Mishabera in tonight's program. Well, we're going to say a few words about those that we are thinking of right now. On our Mishabera list, we have Neil Agneta, Diane Alphys, John Binder, Hope Bongiorno, Reverend Jim Callan, Ethan Carvalho, Alan and Karen Hooper, Bruce Corris, Sharon Kramer, Gloria Fine, Joe Ferraro, Rabbi Yonina Foster, Sue Frank, Barbara Freda, Carol Gettings, Carolyn and Ernie Grosser, Hillary Kerman, Maya Ruth Corin Matlock, Miles Levy, Gail Lewis, Jake Lipshin, Anthony Logalbo, Michael Malik, Shelby Madsen, Terry Miller, Judy Auschwitz, Shannon Perry, Marty Relabate, Dwight Reed, Sharon Rosenthal, Cheryl Rossi, Cindy Rotella, Beverly Roffner, David Roffner, Brandon Ryan, Eric Chabetta, Joni Schwartz, Wyatt Alexander Simpson, Gary Speisman, Malia Sugarman, Enav Simons, Rex Tarman, Michael Wheeler, Gail Zaretsky, Robin Wyhoten, Yonatan Bat Devora, Rivka Bat Nancy, Abigail Ray, Yosef Ben Zissel, Shmuel Ben Miriam, Hinda Sarah Bat Rochel, Hanan Ezra Ben Shuel, Liba Bat Rachel, Shoshana Bat Miba, Anita Klinger, and Jill Klinger.
Michael London, Bob Sherman, Meredith Siegel.
Poe Jumper and Marcia Sicka.
Susan Wilson. Kevin Maxey.
Marshall Friedman and all the Israeli soldiers and Israelis that have been injured this past week.
Faith Choir, Megan Ricky, Judy Houston.
Who's chorus doing?
Leslie Garfinkel. I'm sorry. Leslie Garfinkel. He's doing good. He's home.
Bridget Johnson, Terry McCarson.
I believe it is day 301 for the hostages. I don't know how you heal from that, but may they come home safely, please, and heal. Do you happen to have the Mishabera in your,
I can.
by Debbie Freeman, but in key of C, not key of A? Let's turn to 371, if I'm not mistaken. Debbie Friedman. It's the handwritten version. Yeah, it's the handwritten one, not the one from A. Let's skip it, and then I'll just say it. Misha Bera. Ah, yeah, that's my scribbles. Misha Bera. now to our yurt sites and our shivas and shaloshim that we are honoring this evening. We will be saying the Kaddish shortly, and you can find that on page 598 if you want to hold that spot for yourselves. Well, there is observance of Shiva right now for Aaron Nevler, father of Susie and Alex Frost, and observance of Shloshim for Sally Bloom, mother of Peter Bloom, and Gail Burstein. Yort sites, which is the anniversary of the passing. Jesse Ackerhold, Dorian Baker, Morris Berman, Ann Bernstein, Benjamin Bush, J.M. Caviar, Alan Chase, Ellen R. Davis, Raphael Dubrown, Martin M. Fagan, Elizabeth Feldstein, Helene Fudeman, Milton Gavin, Max Hellman, Rabbi Daniel Kernman, Irving Konowitz, Jack Kuretsky, Sheldon Kurtzman, Lalina McDonald, Harry M. Newman, Emma Paris, Gary Phillips, Evelyn Rubin, Dr. Harold P. Rubin, Sally G. Sapphire, Mary Sandell, Sidney Schiller, Isidore Schlischerman, A. George Singer, Susan Steinman, Marvin Steinberg, Shifra Sweet, Sarah Weinstein, Sophie Z. Weinstein, Sarah Bunis Weiss, Erwin Wolf, and Boris Zebrak. We turn to page 158 for those whose custom it is to rise, please do. 598, if I'm not mistaken, and yes, here we go. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rava, v'yalma divrach hirutei, v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei tachol beit Yisrael, ba'gala u'zman karim v'yiru, amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam u'lamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shmei dekudusha b'reichu. Le'elam minkol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechamata. Dami ram v'yalma v'imru, amen. Yehei shama Rabba min shamaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yiru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yiru, amen. You may be seated, and if you'd like to mention the name of anyone that was not included on the list, you're welcome to do now. Yes?
Purcell and Appletown.
Okay. Yes.
Spencer Rosenthal.
Okay.
Ethel Juneau. Fred Shalvitz.
We hold all these dear in our heart. So let us, well, we're getting to the end of all our formalities. Now we're time for announcements.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We hope you enjoyed our service tonight. We're very grateful to be outside. It came close. Just want to wish a very special thank you to Sherry Jo Rice. She sponsored our new iPhone that is helping us stream the best quality streaming for everything we do. So thank you, Sherry Jo. And I'd like to thank our service greeters tonight. They are both new Board of Trustee members, Diane Gordon and Eliza Berger. Thank you. We would like to also thank Cantor Frank, Ken Kaufman, and Joel Weiss for an amazing service in honor of Shabbat, and also thank Adam Biter for his outstanding sound help. There's Torah study tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. at Temple Beth Tzedek in person and via their Zoom. And the Shabbat morning service will be at 11 a.m. at Canterbury Woods. I have some announcements from the Women of Shir Shalom. Thank you to all who donated to the Dignity Grows fundraiser. We are excited that we exceeded our goal of $2,000 or 200 period packs. We will meet this Tuesday, August 6th, to make up the packs. The fundraiser is ongoing. You can still send future donations by looking up Jewish Buffalo Dignity Grows. The next Tikkun Olam collection is for Teacher's Desk. Please watch your email for a list of school supplies that are needed. And the Women of Shir Shalom are invited to a summer planning party on Sunday, August 18th at Marina and Mark Finkelstein's house. Watch your email for details. We're very happy to share that our temple office was renovated in the last couple of weeks, and we'd love to share it with you, so feel free to stop in. Thank you to everyone who volunteered and or purchased Shabbatas this week. Shabbatas will be back on Thursday, August 15th at 4 p.m. You can pre-order on our website and save $1. See you in the drive-through line. And I did say the event is on a Thursday this time. There is a weekly walk for hostages in honor of Bring Them Home. You can meet at the tennis courts near the bike path on North Forest at 10 a.m. Join us next Friday at 6 p.m. for our Erev Shabbat service, outdoors, weather permitting, and the service will be led by Rabbi Yonina Foster. The ballroom dancing class will return on Thursday, August 22nd, which is also the instructor's birthday, so come and dance and celebrate with us. Thank you to everyone who volunteered and or attended the Women of Shir Shalom High Tea. It was really special and fabulous. Save the date. Join us for Jamaica Farewell, our last outdoor service under the tent, Friday, August 30th at 6 p.m. It'll be followed by our end of summer cookout and Anonik Shabbat sponsored by Cantor in honor of the Jamaica Farewell participants. Please send me your RSVPs. I'm sure Cantor can share a little more. If you need anything, feel free to reach out to Cantor, myself, or Todd. We're here for you, and Rabbi is still on sabbatical for a couple more weeks. I'd also like to thank Rich Legalbo. He's here to help us tonight with maintenance. And I'd also like to thank our officer, Joe Rotella. I'm not sure he can hear us, but we do appreciate their help and presence. Please join us for the Onik Shabbat. If you'd ever like to sponsor an Onik Shabbat for an occasion or no occasion at all, just let me know. Shabbat Shalom and Am Yisrael Chai.
6:25 for Adon Olam. Adon Olam, Hashem Olam, Terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, V'yein Nasa, Echem Tzolkol, Azai V'Elah, Shemon Nivra, Azai V'Elah, Shemon Nivra, V'Yachaveh, Yitlot HaKol, V'Vato, Yilot Nora, V'Hu Ha'ela, V'Hu Hoveh, V'Hu Yiyeh, V'Tzivara, V'Hu Yiyeh, V'Tzivara, V'Hu Echad, V'Yein Sheni, V'Cham Shilo, V'Havira, V'Li Bleishi, V'Li Tavli, V'Lo Ha'ol, V'Ham Yisra, V'Ho Ha'oz, V'Ham Yisra, V'Hu Eli, V'Chai Koali, V'Sor Chavli, V'Yetzara, V'Hu Nisi, Shabbat Shalom, and as you came in peace, may you leave in peace, and may your entire Shabbat be peaceful, and the coming week ahead. And please enjoy some snacks. Thank you. New Jersey, where else? Visiting friends and family. I have a bridal shower and a retirement party. Look forward to there.
Hi.